I have made changes to the stream. We have the new model, my new chair, I got a tablet in front of me now, and I have a duck because I wanted it. And you know how much I love ducks. So now I have a duck friend. I also put the lanterns on the other side now because I figured out how to flip things. So I have the lanterns on both sides. Ta-da! So yeah, I have the lanterns on both sides. Yeah, I've done a lot more on the doodle too. I was putting everything into colored lines. And God, I hate her. So yeah, we have my little duck friend. I have a tablet now. I have a chair. I put the stars in the background too, behind the chat. And I put the lanterns in. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm excited. I'm gonna wait for people to like appear before I start talking about Orange Man, because you already know all the lore that's going on with this because you've helped write it, and we hate her, Your Honor. We wish her a terrible life. I also am much happier with my new model because you can see the slit pupils way better. Because I had to go through and color them, and I redrew my eyes, and I redid the hair, and I put more horns in, and I redid everything, and I hand drew all my stuff. So it took a while, and I spent like 2 days on it, and I'm happy. Oh, and I gotta figure out what I was gonna listen to today because I have been looping the same song for like 4 hours and I can't do that anymore. Irish Spring, that's not really a question. Sorry, it's Dad Day, and that was one of Dad's soaps, so instantaneously, Irish Spring. I also used to buy a bar of Irish Spring, and I, like just a bar soap of it, and I would put it underneath the seat of my car for a cheap air freshener. It also keeps stuff out of your car, like critters and stuff, because they don't want to be in the same place as it and its scent. So Irish Spring, easy, not even a question. That is a go-to for me. I know I can listen to them and not have everything get all whiny. Alright, I was on him, not her. Even though I'm working on her, not him. I won't face the pain, I won't take the blame, I won't let this fall on me. And in the end, it was... So, believe it or not, I have been doing a lot of random things on this with my mouse. Because I'd moved my tablet to type with you and to write Valo's response to Ling, and in turn that meant I needed to move my tablet so that I could get to my keyboard. So I ended up just kind of picking at it with my mouse because I was too lazy to move my tablet back. And I can draw with a damn mouse. It's not gonna stop me. Now the only thing that's annoying about this for her is when I originally colored her, I did that multiply trick because I was lazy and I didn't want to do a lot at the time. So that means I don't have a lot of her actual shade colors because I did the multiply trick. So that means I need to like actually make her shades for real. Aren't the same color. They look like they're the same color, but they're not. Now I gotta clean everything up. Because I already picked up Symphonia. I have him mostly cleaned up. What I wanted you to do. Did I shut that layer off? No, I clicked the thing wrong. That's what happened. Click the wrong button.
Never want to lose control. Tempted by the cruel unknown. Tested by addiction. Never thought I'd be its victim.
You're not.
I can feel it deep within, calling out to me again. Should have seen the
I ended up having to go through and like
faces cold addiction.
fix a bunch of stuff.
Every breath is mine to take.
Oh, I can fix that now too.
After all I've seen, there's so much more to believe. If I'm gonna survive,
I
I'll
was being
make it
real picky when I did that
There's no
because at the time I hadn't had that line art moved.
second side. If I'm gonna survive, I'll make it barely alive. God, I miss so many signs. Wasted years upon my life. Hindered by decisions. Conquered by my superstitions. Constant struggles day to day. There's always something in the way. Minded by my demons. Never were the voice of reason. Every breath is mine to take. I won't slip away.
I think that's everything.
After all I've seen, there's so much more to believe. If I'm gonna survive, I'll make it barely alive. There's no place to hide. I'm feeling sick inside. If I'm gonna survive, I'll make it barely alive. I'll make it barely alive.
So I don't know if I'm gonna get any commissions before Thursday, because I announced that I was going to close them, but there's a reason for that. But if I do get any before Thursday, I'm not gonna lie to you, I will probably throw all that money into your fundraising endeavors. But the reason I'd said that I'm gonna close commissions on Thursday is because I go back to work on Thursday. My days off end, and Thursday's the beginning of my week. But starting Thursday, I work 12 days in a row. So my life is gonna be work and nothing else. So I figured I wouldn't have time to do much with working 12 days in a row. I'm not excited to work 12 days in a row, but here we are. Oh, that's what's going on. I didn't think that went through there. Did you, smart guy? That'll work. Hello! Welcome to the stream. I have new things. I have a new model. I have a duck. I love ducks. I had a pet duck when I was a kid, so I have a duck in the corner. And I added a bunch of stuff, and I am, I had a pet. My duck's name was Morgan. He was a mallard. I had lots of ducks, but Morgan was my baby. I put in a chair and a tablet in front of me, and I have my whole new model that I spent like 3 days hand drawing, and re-rigging, and I put in a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm happy and I'm proud of it. My model looks much more Mysterican. I am king of the puffs, so they should. We're staying with the running theme. Eventually I will draw my model when I stop drawing Symphonia. So I guess never, because I'm not gonna stop drawing Symphonia till I'm dead. So as I was just talking, I put a thing up this morning saying that I'm closing commissions on Thursday. One, because Thursday is the first day of my work week, and starting this coming week I work for 12 days straight. So don't be surprised when I'm like MIA and tired. I have a 12-day work week coming up, so that's part of why I'm closing commissions. But two, the area that Theo lives in, was slammed by really terrible weather, and Theo is currently, 12 days. 12 days in a row. And it's 12 days in a row because my work hosts a really huge party, to the point this party was deemed a state holiday. Oh, I'm not kidding, the governor made it a state holiday because it's celebrating a beer release. So this party's coming up, so because of it, I'm gonna work for 12 days straight because we're short-staffed, and my lead worker of my team just retired on the 7th, so my team is down to 2 people, and we're kind of just chugging through. But yeah, no, if for some reason I get commissions before, if I get any commissions before I close them on Thursday, all of that money I am not keeping. I am sending to the fundraising thing that Bestie has going on right now to help the people in his area that just got basically fucked over by a tornado. So it's for a good cause. And right now I'm working on the doodle that I've been posting on and off. Because Brain decided I had to draw relationships beyond Sinfonia's husband. But the relationships beyond Sinfonia's husband that are not his family are all bad. He doesn't have any good relationships outside of his family. No, wait, he does. Terraletti's good. He has Green Friend. That's it. Oh god, he only has one friend. Come to think of it, yeah, because he has Silu, and Silu's his husband. And then I'm going on the list, but Sedan doesn't count. She's bonded sister. So instead, in their culture, instead of saying like my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, they use the term bonded. They use the term bonded, so it would be like my bonded father, my bonded mother, my bonded sister, my bonded brother. And they use that term because they don't refer to their partner as their husband or their wife or my girlfriend or my boyfriend. They refer to their partner as their bond because it's like a bonded pair. Like that's where they're pulling it from. They're a bonded pair. And once you become married in their culture, you go from bond to love blonde. Oh, okay, hold on. Better? Yeah, in their culture, it's a bonded pair. And once you get married, it goes from bond to love bond, even though they still just say bond. So all of your in-laws would become your bonded family. So no, Sedan doesn't count for friends because no, Sedan doesn't count because that's Silu's twin sister, so that's would be Sinfonia's. You're right, Valo. He does. He has Valo and Amun. He does have, and Revron. He has friends. He does. He has friends with all the people he's not supposed to be friends with. Why did it? Wait, what? All you said was Paul. I need to look that up. I'm so confused why it blocked you. He does. He does have friends, but it's all the friends it's all the people he's not supposed to be friends with. So he gets in trouble for being friends with them. That's where we're gonna talk about this. This has changed a lot since I've posted it on Blue Sky. Just so you know, Theo knows because I've been sending it to him. But this is what's going on. So I also dug up those drabbles so that you can just like hear the situation this man is in. Cause this man is in a mess. So this is Suksu and we hate her. We hate her, Your Honor. I wish terrible things on this woman. She's awful. But so I need to get that picture. This will make more sense. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Da, 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 da. I need pictures of all of them before I start yakking, or it's not gonna make, it's gonna make sense, but it's easier if I can just point at people. Where's that dumb picture? Oh, there it is. Haha. Okay. You need them. Because this is who we're revolving around. So I need to explain the concept of what a soulbind is. I've done it before, but unfortunately I did it in a period of time in which I didn't know how to save my VODs. So it's gone and disappeared for forever. So now we can explain what a soulbind is again. Soulbinds are also important because this applies to Sealu too. So soulbinds are basically people who work for the royal family, but like directly. This is the royal family, by the way. This is the royal family. This is Orinko, this is Ku, this is Pilvi, and this is Uzva. This is Sinfonia's big brother. They're not really brothers, they're cousins, but they were raised by each other's sides, like, their entire lives, so just don't tell them that. They refer to each other as brothers. Like, they know they're cousins, but don't argue with them about it. They're brothers. But so Symphonia is Enrico, the king's little brother. And a soulbind are the people that work directly for that royal. Every royal has soulbinds. Ku is the only one that only has one soulbind because that's her bodyguard. But the rest of them all have like a gaggle. The rest of them have like a whole troop of people. So a soulbind is, firstly, they have a prime bind, so the first person whoever binds to them, and that's their bodyguard / caretaker. So, like, for Uzva, that would be Sephirin. A soulbind is like, you're literally making a life oath to serve this royal for the rest of your life. And it's called a soulbind because you're literally mixing your souls together, aka your mist. So all the necklaces they're wearing are their mist mixed with Uzva's mist. And it's basically like proof of contract. It's called a gem of commitment. So all of them are wearing a gem that was made out of their mist and the prince's mist because they all directly serve the prince. All directly work for him. Sephirin, the blue one, that is Uzva's bodyguard, and she is their prime, meaning the rest of them report to her if there's problems. And then they should report to each other in the order they all bound, but that doesn't happen with them. Their hierarchy's kind of messed up and they don't follow it anyways. Because Sinfonia's the one who bound second. So technically he should outrank all of them but Sephirin, but it definitely don't work like that. So soulbinds are important, so you know that they've all made a life oath to this prince. But that makes them all, we call it co-binds, but it's really like they're just their co-workers. Except it's much more intense because you all made a life oath to the same person. So it's like your co-workers for forever. Better like these people because you're stuck with them for life. So we're getting to that. So I'm gonna read you the whole drabble of how he got into this frickin' mess. I just need you to understand that she's his co-worker. They're both bound to the same prince. They're both, they both work and serve the same royal. So that's what's extra messed up about this. Is they both view how they should serve this royal differently, and she also thinks he's an idiot. So, the thing is Suksu is, when a royal has soul binds, they just call them their binds. Normally it's a guard, so it's a knight who's their bodyguard, and then the rest of them are their teachers. And when the royal would then assume the throne, their teachers would become their advisors. So that's why they're with them for life. So should Uzva ever take the throne, Sinfonia would go from being his music teacher to his advisor. And that means he would probably take his mother's position, because his mother is currently festival advisor. His uncle is also festival advisor, because his uncle and his mother are soulbinds to Lord Orinko. So that's like how hardcore this is, that they both serve the same royal. The other thing, though, to take into consideration, yeah, if Uzva would take the throne, she would also take an advisory role. And their advisory roles are generally based on what they teach. And Suksu teaches politics. So, yeah, we really don't want her in an advisory role anyways, because she's the one who's teaching politics. And she also teaches history. And she's also really pro the church, because the Mysterican government is divided into two, and power is split between the crown and the church. That she for being someone who works for the crown, she's really pro the church. When most of the people who work for the crown and or the royal family don't have positive feelings about the church. And the thing is it's not that they don't have positive feelings about their religion. They're all extremely religious. But the religious council that runs the church sucks. We don't like the religious council, they suck. Oh, good, it's right there. The other thing to take into consideration, though, when I talk about that they're bound to the same prince, the other problem we have is this. Because this is the prince that, this is Uzva, this is the prince that Symphonia is bound to. This is Pilvi, this is Uzva's little brother. AKA older nephew, younger nephew. They're still both his kiddos. He just works for one of them. He just doesn't work for the other one. 'Cause Munchkin has his own set of binds that teach him and take care of him. His music teacher is Silu. So the other music husband teaches the baby, not the older one. This is Silu's baby. So, same, in the same aspect, if Pilvi is the one who takes the throne, then Silu, I'm just explaining what binds are, and right now I'm talking about Silu and his baby Cloud, and how soul binds work. Right now, Yes, your critter. If Pilvi is the one who takes the throne, then Silu would become an advisor. That's how that works. But if Uzva's the one who takes the throne, then Symphonia would become an advisor. But if Pilvi takes the throne and Uzva doesn't, then they still advise him, but they don't have like high-ranking positions in the government. So that means Suxu would be an advisor, but she wouldn't have a high-ranking position in the government. So this is how we get here. Me dragging up the literal, because I wrote this whole thing out already. I wrote most of this. Okay, so I'm just going to like literally read to you. Oh, context before I read this. I need one bit of context before I read this because I already just gave you what a soulbind is. Because you're not going to understand the insult unless I don't tell you. So there's a Mysterican insult that they use. They would call each other heavy-headed. And that's calling you an idiot. The reason they call each other heavy-headed is because your horns are so heavy, they're weighing down your brain and you can't think, so you're an idiot. So they will, mock the shit out of each other for short horns. Short horns, small horns, they will mock the shit out of each other for it. Since their horns are crystal and they're considered to be like a blessing from their celestial mother, tall horns are better. Tall horns are also better because the taller your horns are and the more you have, the better you can hear, because they hear with their horns. So you needed to know the heavy-headed thing because that definitely comes up. So this is the first rabble that happens between Symphonia and Suxu. So this is how he met this woman. This is all, and by the way, I'm reading from his point of view. It's odd to start having the rest of what would be Uzva's binds show up at the palace, but he knew this day would come eventually. Even if he hadn't been one of them, they all knew this day would come. Sephirin was the first to show, but she's been around for nearly as long as Uzva was. Showing up when the prince was only a few months old. Handpicked by Kenreli Tyvis himself. Handpicked by Issa. Issa means father. Tyvis is the head of the military. Tyvis is Odorinko's prime bind. If he said she would do a good job, there would be no doubt about it. Sure enough, the past few years have been just that. Revron was the next bind to show up, and he was not one of his co-binds, but instead Pilvi's prime. That little wisp was full of surprises, binding with him near the moment they met. It only took hours of the child being held in the Aurorian's arms for the infant to make up his mind. But Uza is 7 years old now, and he's finally old enough to bind. He's finally old enough to make his choice, and he was honored that after all these years, the boy did choose him directly after Sephirin. He was the first to be chosen of Uzva's teachers, and he couldn't begin to put into words how much that meant to him. Like he came next, and there was an air that surrounded him that he couldn't begin to understand, but then again, medical was never his area of expertise, and when it came to his and Helicon's schooling as children, that was one of his subjects he fought for his life in. That and politics. How he loathed politics. And he should just say it was good that of the pair of them, he was not eligible for the throne. He would make an awful king. Truly he would. He wasn't suited for that kind of thing. But it was because of their bond that things got a little complicated. Helicon was worried that the incoming minds would think less of him for allowing a prince to bind to his relation, and it is against the rules of the binding contract to bind to blood. But he is not blood, just an adoptive family member, so it shouldn't be so much of a problem. Orinko has even asked the boys to lessen their use of Seta, that means uncle, and to not bring so much attention to the fact that they consider each other family. Orinko is asking him to cut his heart out of fear, is what he's doing. The man has been so scared of messing up ever since he took the throne. It's been like this since they were just boys. One of these days, he's just going to have to talk with him about it. Symphonia. The sound of a soft voice is floating through the hall in his direction, making the musician stop on his errand to turn and face its owner. Can I speak to you for a moment? Suksu. She was the palace's newest resident. She was Uzva's newest bind, taking over teaching politics and history now for Uzva, and he can't say he's had a chance to really get to know her yet, to really take an opportunity to speak with her, even if she's been here a few weeks now. They've only met in passing, or now and then, when he felt well enough to drag himself to dinner. Of course, he begins as he turns to face her fully. How can I help? I know the palace is large and living here can be sort of overwhelming, but in private, she cuts him off. But her voice sounds like it's about to break when she does. When she does, is something wrong? Did someone hurt her? So he sighs a little and gives her the best smile he can muster before he nods at her request. Yes, of course. There's an unused classroom just around the corner. We can speak there. They'll be there for Pilvi's binds when he comes of age soon. So Painted Lips must be frowning behind her mask as they make their way over to the room so they can speak alone. Her posture is all wrong, and she looks like she's troubled by something. She looks so upset, so he's trying his best to make his smile reflect in his eyes as he speaks. Whatever it is, I'll help however I can. Did something happen? Did someone say something? I'm not very comfortable with one of my fellow binds being related to the king. And there it was. Like she pulled out a dagger as fast as lightning and plunged it deep into his chest, sharp and quick like a viper, to bite him right in the neck before he ever had a chance to do anything about it. All the sense of fragility was gone just as quick as it appeared. And I'm even less comfortable with the fact that said bind is bound to my prince. That's playing favorites, and I don't like it. The only thing that can really happen at this point is for the smile to fade from his eyes and his lips hang down low behind his mask. He can hear Helicon in the back of his mind telling him that this is the kind of thing he was scared of happening. Someone is getting upset, and someone getting upset and thinking he was playing favorites when the musician became Uzva's bind, even if it was entirely not the case. He's sighing a little as he crosses his arms over his chest, and he tries to come up with the best way to handle this situation, because he can't very well change who his family is, and the bind has already been cast. He can't take it back now, and besides, even if she demanded it of him, he wouldn't. That was Uzva's decision, not hers. A second sigh escapes him as his shoulders start to sag a little as he watches the pink eyes fixated on him go from soft to vicious. What would you have me do then, Suksu? I can't very well change who I'm related to, and the bind is already cast. I'm sorry this is making you uncomfortable, but nothing. You only got your position because the king played favorites, and it would be an awful shame if the rest of the kingdom found out that their lord was breaking the laws of bindings. The laws of what? You very well know the laws as well as I do, don't you? There's a bit of scoff in his general direction before the same set of pink's eyes are rolling at him. You're a musician. What can I expect for you to know of laws? So fine, let me spell it out for you. She's speaking to accent the point she's making with one hand while one sets angrily on her hip. The laws that come with binding to a royal. How stupid are you? Has living in the palace your whole life made your head get heavy? Your horns can't have anything to do with it. She scoffs again as she shifts her weight to one side and then paces back and forth from one side to the other, directly in the path of the front door. When one binds themselves to a royal, it becomes their sworn duty to act in the name of that royal and that royal only. Outside distractions are not only unneeded but unwarranted. They're a hindrance to Uzva, and if he doesn't have your complete focus and not that little speck of white you keep making googly eyes at. Pilvi has nothing to do with my bind to Uzva Suksu. He is my nephew, not a distraction. I don't really appreciate you talking about my family in such a way. And I don't appreciate how high your head has been in the clouds when you waste your time speaking to his ingrate of a guard and divert your attention away from Uzva. That little pipsqueak is the child of white. He doesn't need any more coddling than he already is going to get from basically the entire kingdom. Uzva will have no one, so he better have us. What are you saying? That Pilvi is a threat? Are you serious? Do you hear yourself? He's only 3 years old. He can barely fly straight, and his entire world is Revan in his East of Valley. That means Big Brother. Exactly. And he's a distraction to Uzva, and it's besides that child is going to need to learn the harshness of the world sooner or later. So, what does this have to do with me? Suksu, I'm warning you, if you try to, she's in front of him in a flash before he has a chance to react. Her hand is reaching up to wrap tightly around the bright orange tie around his neck, and she pulls hard to drag him down to her level so they can meet eye to eye. You warn me? You have no power here. So let's make one thing perfectly clear, Citrini Symphonia. You will do exactly as I tell you, or the kingdom will find out just how many laws your precious Isaveli has shattered to oblivion, and in turn his oath by putting you ahead of it. Face the facts. You ruined their lives by not reading the fine print. So then, what do you want me to do? Separate the boys, and when Pilvi's binds, you will come, keep them away from Uzva. I don't care how nasty you have to get, but keep them away from Uzva. And this precious brotherly mess that they have going on needs to end. You want me to destroy my nephew's relationship? Are you crazy? I'm not. Her other hand is moving in a flash to bury deep into Orange Lox's fingers clenched down into a fist and pull. She's wincing in pain. He's wincing in pain as she tugs him down further until ultimately the musician drops to his knees just to try to relieve some of the pain from being forced to bend over. You can and you will, or your precious brother will lose the throne and your precious family will get tossed out of the palace on their asses and it'll be all your fault. So as I said before, I don't care how nasty you have to get. If you want to keep your little secret, you'll do as I say. Am I understood? Yes, that's a good boy. Now I believe there's already work to do. So that's the first time he met her. That's their first conversation. We hate her. We hate her. So basically, basically she's blackmailing him. And since Symphonia is absolutely horrendous at politics, he believes everything she tells him. Because she teaches it. Of course she knows what she's talking about. She wouldn't be making things up. She wouldn't be lying to him. And the thing is she doesn't think she is. She legitimately thinks they're blood brothers. So she legitimately thinks he broke the law. But the thing is if he broke the law, the bind never would have cast. Yeah, they're blood, but it's like cousins. It's not the direct bloodline. Arinko's mother is Sinfonia's aunt. Sinfonia's father and Arinko's mother are siblings. That's where the connection hits. So Suksu's blackmailing him, and Sinfonia bought all of it, and got real nasty, and he proceeds to get real nasty with his youngest nephew and all of his soulbinds. Gets real isolated, gets real mean, ends up being an absolute jerk, and then Pilvi's fifth soulbind, his fourth teacher, shows up in the form of one blue monster. One blue chalice with the voice of an angel. And Symphonia doesn't know what to do, because this man shows up and he knows Suksu wants him to stay away from Pilvi's binds and to be an absolute jerk to them, and he knows he has to be a jerk to protect his family, and he can't. As soon as he meets Silu, the first thing that goes through his brain is, I need all of this man's attention, and I need it now. I just need him to pay attention to me. Oh my god. And, like, it's love at first sight. Like, he sees him and it's just instantaneous. Like, I need this man in my life. I want to be his friend. I want to be around him. I want to talk about music to him. I need to be around him 24/7. So this is where the problems really, really start. Because he was having a decent time, staying away from all of Pilvi's binds until Silu showed up. Now he's screwed. And the thing is when Sinfonia disobeys Suksu, and she finds out about it, she has a habit of sicking Likey on him, which is the other one. Like, this is Likey, 6 foot tall. This is Likey. She has a tendency of sicking Likey on him, to which that means, like, literally throwing this man around. Thus, he's bruised and beaten up and scratched to hell, and there's blood running from his mouth, because it's the 7,800th time that Sinfonia's got his shit rocked because he disobeyed Suksu again. And she literally has no problem being like, just throw him around, I don't fucking care. Make him learn his lesson. He never does. But he is terrified of them. The worst part about it is that Likey's there to teach math and medical, so that means he is Uzva's doctor, but since it's the co-binds co-workers thing, then that also means that Likey is doctor to all of his co-binds, Sinfonia included. So that means he's in charge of all of Sinfonia's medical. All of his medication, his medical, all of his medical is handled by someone who literally beats the shit out of him. Yay! And Sinfonia has, like, a slew of medical conditions. He has lots of physical and mental situations going on that require medical attention. And this man is in charge of all of them. So he proceeds to fuck his meds up all the time, switches them constantly, gives him the wrong ones, withholds medication when he needs it, gives him shit when he doesn't, gives him the wrong stuff. He almost kills him quite a few times. Oh yeah, it's hell. And that's the problem too. On Silu's end, he ends up consistently getting closer to Symphonia through what we refer to as orange medical emergency. Silu being really scared his husband's gonna die is not paranoia because he's had it happen way too many times. He has had too many times that Uzwa has shown up in his classroom. How do I do that? I don't know how to ban them. Oh. What? Ah! Cool, thank you. Figured it out. Cool, we figured it out. But yeah, so there's literally been times that Silu has had Uzma walk into his classroom going, hey, he's not there again. Because normally if Symphonia's sick, he'll send Uzma to Silu and be like, yo, can you teach my kid for today? I know you know your shit, I trust you, teach him music, thank you. I feel like hell. And Uzma will show up and be like, hey, and he'll be like, oh god, is he sick again? But this time he'll get, I don't know, he's not there. I don't know what's going on. So there's been times that Silu's had to go run to Symphonia's room to check on him, and he finds him dying on his bathroom floor, quite literally. Running a fever that could possibly kill him, and like just almost dead. And it's because of Likey giving him the wrong medication and like fucking up his meds and shit. And that's where this situation gets extra messy, because Likey hates Symphonia. It's like this is the triangle that's going on. Symphonia hates Suxu. He also hates Likey. He hates them both. But I mean, with the way they treat him, valid. He also really wishes they'd just leave him alone. Oh no, we're getting to that. The thing is that Symphonia has kept everything so, like, he lies a lot. Like, if he has injuries and they're like, dude, what happened? He'll lie. He'll lie. He'll wear makeup to cover up his injuries. He'll go out of his way to cover this shit up. Because he thinks that if they get found out, then they're gonna backlash on him, and then his family's gonna get into trouble. Even though that's not what would happen at all, and he did all this for nothing. Because, boy oh boy, let me tell you, when Tulta finds out, Tulta's ready to, like, wage a fucking war. And Tulta is another one of Theo's OCs. Tulta is, where are you? Windy Man. Tulta. Tulta is, Symphonia's father's best friend. And when Symphonia's father... Oh, no, he doesn't find that shit out until, like, the end of it. At the very end of it, he finally gets it explained to him that everything he did was for naught, and he's fucking pissed. Because he drags this shit out for, like, well over a decade. He drags this out for almost 20 years. Tulta is Symphonia's godfather. when his father died in the war, he asked Tulta to take care of his kid in case anything happened to him. And then Shoki got killed in the war, and alas, Tulta ended up stepping up as the bestie to raise his son and take care of his wife. But this is the triangle. Symphonia hates both of them. Fucking despises them. He can't stand most of his co-binds. The only one he likes is Vorvesi. She is the bright, happy ball of yellow sunshine. That's Vorvesi. She's the dance teacher. It's the only one Symphonia likes. She's also the only one that's not really a piece of shit. Sephirin's okay, but she has her problems. Likey absolutely hates Symphonia. And the problem here, too, is that makes this real messy, is Suxu is that possessive ownership kind of love towards Symphonia when he wants nothing to fucking do with her. The man is also, like, super fucking gay, so he's not interested into her at all. But she's 100% interested in him. But since she's, like, realized she can't have him, she's decided no one can, and is, like, super fucking possessive of him. See, that's the thing, though. Only Uzva managed to pick, like, shitty people. All of Pilvi's co-binds, stellar. All of the people that serve Pilvi, absolutely wonderful people. All the people that serve Lorinko, awesome. Uzva just didn't pick well. See, and then the thing that makes it extra messy is Likey hates Symphonia an extra layer because he's in love with Suxu. But she doesn't want him. She doesn't want him, she wants Symphonia. Symphonia is gay as a rainbow slinky. No chance, woman. He's not into you. And that's where she gets extra mad about Silu, is because Symphonia 100% wants Silu. And she can see it and she can tell. Before Silu even realizes what's going on, because I love the man, but wow, he's dense. He does not understand flirting at all, and it has to be explained to him. He's precious. I love him. She 100% can tell Symphonia fell in love with him. So now she definitely wants him to stay the fuck away from him. Not only does she consider Silu the enemy, because he is one of Pilvi's binds, now she also sees that he is, to her, a threat to take her man. Even though he's not her man and he doesn't want her anyways. So that's why she's, like, extra possessive in the picture. Because as far as she's concerned, she owns his ass. She doesn't, but that's what she likes to think. This is kind of a half symbolism thing going on with the picture, because colors. Oh yeah, she's all kinds of extra weird freak behavior. How does Silu put it? Like, extra creep behavior? Extra weirdo behavior. That's how he describes it. Because she'll go so far as, like, using Symphonia's first name, which is a big no. You don't do that unless you're super close. Using the first name is intimate. And some Mystericans don't have a first name and a last name. They have the first name and the second name. And then it creates the whole name. Because, like, they don't have shared last names. No, there is no part of his parents' names that match to his. Because there's no last name. his mother's name is Palavatuli, and his full name is Citrini Sinfonia. There's no match. Because they don't name each other in first and a surname. They name each other as by things and places in nature. His name translates to Citrine Symphony. That's what his name actually is. In English, his name is Citrine Symphony. His name is actually Symphony. And Suksu's full name translates to Emerald Fall. So, using the first name is extra intimate in Mysterican culture. So, like, it's okay if your family uses it, and it's okay if really close friends use it, and it's okay if obviously your bond or your lover uses it. Finish. But, it's not okay if, like, some random stranger uses your first name. That's definitely not okay. Or even friends you're not super close with, that's definitely not okay. Like, it takes a while for Silu to use his first name. And it takes, Sinfonia a while to use Silu's first name. It takes a hot second before they use each other's first names because they want to make sure that, okay, you consider me that close before they do it, because otherwise it's really rude. That's why it's extra weirdo behavior that she has zero issues calling him Citrini, and he cringes every time she does it. She's not supposed to use that. He's supposed to give people permission to call him that, because obviously she is not family or friend, so she shouldn't be calling him that. You can go even more intimate, and shorten parts of the name, but again, that's like family or like super, super, super close friends. No, you can't do it back at him, because that's weird. That then, if you do it back, that's kind of showing that it's okay. That, like, that's how the husbands figured out it was fine, is one of them kind of, like, dared to put their foot in the pool and, like, dared to use the other's first name, and then they wait to see if they do it in response. So then you go, okay, cool, it was alright. You didn't get mad about it. Cool, it was alright. Yay! I'm so happy. I'm so excited you've got so many people to donate to you today. See? Yeah, the tornado sucked, but we'll get it. We'll get stuff better. It really did suck though. But no, like, that's how the husbands figured it out. Also, because you can hear my voice, I can finally express that Silu's first name is written Aqua, but it's said Aqua. Akva. There we go. Thank you. That's what Silu called it. Fucking creep behavior. Cause it is. It's an on-running, it's the battle you have for the rest of your life. But yeah, their first names, since I almost never use them on Blue Sky, are, Aqua and Citrini. So think Aqua and Citrine, because that's literally what their names are. So it was one of them going, Citrini, and seeing if he could get mad. And when he responded with, what, Aqua? He went, okay, cool, it was alright, it was chill, he didn't get mad, cool, we are that close. So, like, he can't get mad at, he can't, like, get shitty with her and use it back in response. He also doesn't want to say her first name because he thinks that's gross, he's not that close to her. He does, like, legitimately think of her as just generally gross. But, no, especially when she starts doing the, like, Citrini, darling, and he's like, oh god. did she seriously just call me darling? But, like, he doesn't know how to bark back at her because she's so abusive. And she gaslights the shit out of him. Fortunately, this is where Silu comes in. Aqua Silu has no problem just bitching this woman out. He also has no problem getting really possessive of his orange in that, like, he's mine kind of way, just to get under her skin. He has zero problems being like, takes his hand, pulls him close, and then, like, steps in front of him to get in between them. Like, Silu does a lot of just, like, get away from him. But, yeah, there's a little bit of, like, symbolism going on with this picture, because of the powers contained within the mist colors, because every mist color has its own. Yeah, we hate her, Your Honor. We hate her. We also hate Likey. But you know what? At the very least, I can give Likey that at the end of it, he kind of just gave it up. He didn't even try to keep the jig up. At the end of it, he was just kind of like, just tell the truth. Jig is up. It's over. And, like, he did try to talk her out of it a few times of being like, just leave him alone. It's fine. It's getting too risky. We're gonna get caught. Just drop it. Leave him alone. But she won't. Because she's obsessed with him. And she, like, absolutely believes that he belongs to her. Like, broke the husbands up and everything. She had them so riled up and tricked them so hard, she managed to trick them into fighting to the point that Silu broke Sinfonia's nose and gave him a concussion. Because Silu didn't know what was going on at the time. He was 100% tricked. Because she told Symphonia he had to break it off. And if he didn't, she was gonna come after Silu and Sedan. Sedan is Silu's twin sister. So they're together all the time. And I say, that's the thing, like, within the Space of Mysterican Society, every color kind of has, like, connotations and meanings to it because of the power that color possesses, because every mist has its own power depending on what color it is, but, like, every shade of green doesn't have its own power. Every shade of green has the same power because it's all green. That's how this works. So Mystericans of the same color can be around each other with their masks off and not have to worry about powers because, like, orange doesn't affect orange. So, like, Symphonia's mother is orange. He is orange. Valo is orange. They could all be in the same room and talk with their masks off and have their mist be in the air, and none of them's gonna get an effect because they're all the same color. They're not. Like, they're not the same hue, but they're all the same mist color. So, red is paralyzed. So I need you to know what the mists do, because I have a tendency to reflect those colors' meanings in my drawings. Red is the color of royalty, and it's also, its power is the ability to paralyze. Orange ability is silence. So, like, if Symphonia breathes his mist at someone because they won't shut the fuck up but he's pissed at them, they're not going to be able to talk for a while depending on how much of his mist they just inhaled. Yellow causes confusion. Green is toxic, it's poison, it'll kill you. And blue will cause slow, so it'll slow you down. Think like Final Fantasy RPG status effects. Purple is regen, it's healing. Brown, it causes stone. Pink causes blind. And silver causes charm, white causes sleep. So Suxu's colors are green and pink, so poison and blind, so she's blinded him and she's toxic to him. There's symbolism within society, within their relationship. And yeah, she's a terrible person and we fucking hate her. That's also the other picture that I consistently post like all the freaking time. It's one that I drew a little bit ago that will make more sense now that I've explained all of this, of like her sticking Likey on him because she's fucking pissed at him because he disobeyed her again. That's Likey. This man is consistently very much larger than him. This is Likey going after Symphonia in his own classroom. Shattered a ward on the floor and all. And shattered picture, because I've written one of the fights before, and there's a picture in Symphonia's classroom that consistently keeps getting the glass broke out of it, and it's the only picture in his classroom that he consistently fixes. Most of the things that have been broken in his classroom because of fights, he's just taken the decorations off the walls, and he's basically put all the decorations from his classroom and pictures and family photos, etc., and put them in a box and drug them into his room and left them there. And he's just kind of like played it off as like, I just didn't want them there anymore, which is a blatant fucking lie. Because Symphonia's classroom once was decorated like the music dorky teacher that clearly has autism and is really excited about his subject. So you could definitely used to walk into that classroom and be like, this man's a music teacher. And he's really excited about it. And all those decorations are gone. All the family photos he had up are gone. He left some of the awards up, and he has left that one picture on the wall, and he consistently will just fix the glass. He'll just keep changing the glass. Everything else he just took out. Which runs into his relationship with Silu, because that means all the decorations in his classroom when Silu showed up were gone. That he never saw them. And when he met Symphonia, he thought he was an absolute asshole. And that he was just a fucking jerk. Yeah. There's lots of really, really bad nastiness that comes to her. Don't worry, she gets what's coming to her, because when everything finally like blows up and his brother finds out, oh god. Yeah, oh god, when Orinko finds out everything that's been going on, and mind you, to like put this in perspective, when this started, Pilvi was 3. When Orinko finds out, Pilvi is 16. So he kept this up for 13 years. He kept this up for 13 years of just going through hell. And when Orinko finds out, that man about loses his fucking mind. And he loses it, one, because he's already tensed out, because part of the thing that she wanted was to ruin the prince's relationship, and they'd happened to gotten in a really bad fist fight that day that ended up with Pilvi with a broken nose. So he's already in a really bad mood. And then Symphonia goes to talk to him about it and sees that she's already there. And she's there, like, weaving a whole bunch of lies, explaining how, like, this is all Sinfonia's fault for everything he teaches Uzva and gets into his head, and he's always the one trying to separate them, and I don't know what's happened to him after all these years. And mind you, he comes in and he's a beat to shit because he got in the middle of the fight and tried to stop it. Silu is with him, and Silu also got in the middle of the fight and tried to stop it, so they've already got their asses kicked that day. And Symphonia also looks like shit anyways, because, like, he threw him around, like, 2 days before. And he hears her just being like, it's all Symphonia's fault, and he just blows up. It's been 13 years, and he can't hold his tongue anymore, and he just blows up. He just absolutely loses it, blows up, starts yelling at her about how what I've done, what about what you've done, this is your fault, don't you go there, and just goes off on her. And then she starts trying her, like, fake cry pity me bullshit. And when she does, Silu goes, like, almost feral on her and just loses his mind and just starts screaming, because he has spent so many years after he found out that his hubby was getting threatened, and he sees the, like, shitty, threatening, gaslighting text thread on Sinfonia's phone. He has spent all of these years basically trying to keep this man alive, while he goes through this shit. And mind you, Silu never had names. He didn't have names. He just knew somebody was threatening him, and that he had to be as supportive and helpful as possible. And when he sees Symphonia lose it, he just knows. This is it. This has been the person that he hasn't been able to tell me. This is the name he hasn't been able to say. And just goes off on her. Just starts yelling, cussing, swearing, going off on her, and both of them are riled up, and she ends up, like, doing the fake pity cry, I've been victimized bullshit, and, like, runs out of the room. And once she leaves, Symphonia almost collapses because he's got his ass rocked quite a few times this week. And in his absolute mess and panic, he just pulls his phone out, opens the text thread that's just freaking over a decade of shitty text messages he's got from this woman. Mind you, he never labeled it with a name, and he never uses names once in that text thread. And he just hands it to his brother. Here. Because he's like, what was that? What's going on? Holy shit, what's happening? And, like, Arinko's got to get to the bottom of this, because ultimately these people answer to him. And now he has there's this phone full of threats that have been sent to his brother for years. And Arinko loses his mind. We are in the middle of writing that thread. And currently, Silu was ordered to take Sinfonia home for the week and get him out of the palace so that nobody can get to him. And that he is supposed to take care of him for the week. And you're fine, you've had a lot going on. And currently, Sinfonia is at Silu's house, but it was a very long flight, and Sinfonia's stamina when he's not beat to shit is already hell. So he barely made it, and when he got there, he got sat down on the couch and was talking to Sade, Rain Dad, that's Silu and Sedan's dad, and he was talking to Sade and Sedan while Silu went into the kitchen to talk to Sipi, his mother, anxiety mom, And in the process of talking to Sade and Sedan, Symphonia passed out on the couch. And he kind of just passed out again. He does that. He has a heart arrhythmia. Oh yeah, CP panicked, and Sedan was more like, "Fuck, he did it again," and then she just kind of yelled, being like, "Yo, Silu, he did it again. He passed out. So currently Symphonia is passed out on the couch, and back in the palace, the palace has been put on lockdown. Suksu and Likey are not allowed to leave, and if they do, they're to be arrested. And Orinko has demanded that they get drugged to him. And what has been going on has been now passed through all of Orinko's binds. Mind you, Sinfonia's mother and Sinfonia's uncle are also Orinko's binds, so that means his mother knows now. So she is currently storming through the palace like fucking mad as hell. She just found out about all this shit has been happening to her baby boy. And she's got her brother Helios with her. And they just went and found Tulta, Sinfonia's godfather, to get him to, go track down Likey. They're currently in hot pursuit of tracking Likey down to drag his ass to Orinko, so that he can answer for all this shit. And Orinko has just, like, decided he's done fucking playing, and he's, like, demanded all of Likey's medical records, and they're on lockdown, and he needs everyone's phones, and he needs to know what's going on, and no one's allowed to leave, and the only people that are allowed out are Silu and Sedan, because he wanted them to get Sinfonia out of that building. Correct. Orange's new doctor, he got a new doctor a while ago. He got a new doctor about 2 years prior to this, because he was having another day of chest pain and migraines, and he felt really bad, and he was feeling really terrible, and he didn't know why. And he went to go to Likey to get pain meds. And when he got there, Likey was ready to draw blood from Pilvy's arm. And that's bad. Mind you, Pilvy is like the prophesized member of their religious society that is supposed to be like the child that will save them all. So he's kind of like godly. That's why Likey's obsessed with like learning as much as he can about this kid. Meanwhile, Symphonia is just like, that's my nephew, don't fucking touch him. So instead of getting his pain meds, he proceeded to just like tell Likey, I swear to God, if you touch the child, I will break your fucking nose. And took his nephew by the hand and yanked him out of the room, and proceeded to start dragging him down the hall so he could bring him to Silu. And at this point in time, Silu and Sinfonia aren't even talking. This is just post Silu breaking Sinfonia's nose and giving him a concussion because they got tricked. So they are definitely in the breakup arc right now. AKA they're both fucking depressed and miserable because they won't talk to each other. And just find out what's going on. So, once again, they have to talk because of an orange medical emergency. So, while Symphonia is dragging Pilfy down the hall to get into Silu, he ends up leaning up against a wall and like holding his chest, and he's breathing really heavy, and he pales out, and he just tells Pilvy to just like, don't worry about me and go to Silu. You just go to Silu. I'll be fine. I just need a minute. Go to Silu. And Pilvi won't go because that's his fucking uncle. So he's like, no, say to Symphonia, I'm not gonna go. You look like Opetia, that means teacher. Opetia Valo on a bad day. When he's having a bad day, you're really pale. I'm gonna stay here with you until you feel better. And he's still trying to get him to go to Silu, and before he can really start pushing him again to be like, just go, he passes out. Just boom, passes out in the hall. So our precious puffball freaks out and just starts yelling for help. He starts yelling he starts yelling all of his Bine's names and just starts freaking out. And Opetia Silu, I need you, I need you, I need help, I need help, I need help. And Silu hears him and just he hears his puff like screeching bloody murder and just yelling, I need help in the hall. So of course he comes fucking running as fast as he can. Like screw running, it's flying at this point. And just goes racing down the hall to get to him, and he sees Symphonia passed out on the ground. And he's like, oh god. So he helps. So he just picks his orange up and takes him to Pilvi's doctor, Paulo. And Paulo knows Symphonia anyways. They knew each other when they were kids because Paulo's mother is one of Aurinko's Bines. Paulo's real chill. She's kind of the quirky, crazy scientist that can be followed by the sound of explosions and is constantly inventing things, but at the same time is really good at her job, and she's a super genius. We love Paulo in this house. So when Silu says Paulo's the best there is, he means that. So he takes him to Paulo, and she's like, oh god, what happened? Did Orangey pass out again? She doesn't call him Symphonia, she calls him Orangey. Did Orangey pass out again? And Silu explains what happened, and I did create a monster, but I created a beautiful monster. We love Paulo in this house. Hold on. Boop. Paulo. We love Paulo in this house. So Silu takes Symphonia to Paulo. Paulo checks him over. Draws some blood. Checks him out to make sure he's okay. And she gets really mad because she finds a bunch of stuff in his blood that shouldn't be there. She finds meds that she knows don't match up to his medical. Because she knows his medical. She's known him since he was a kid. And she finds meds in his bloodstream that would fuck up his heart condition. And she's fucking lit. And good night. Thank you for coming and listening to me yak about lore. I appreciate you. Have a good night. But yeah. Paulo takes care of him. We've talked about lore for an hour and a half. Do you realize that? And I'm still kind of chatty about lore. We've explained why. I do appreciate you showing up, though. I like that. I appreciate people's interest. I really do. It means a lot to me. We love it that people love our orange thing and our blue thing. And all my other puff things. I haven't even really colored tonight because I got so distracted just talking about lore, but that's fine. I see, and I figured you needed something to just kind of like also chill your brain since you just kind of had like the day of hell. I don't know how else to describe it other than the day of hell. How else do you describe that? Like I said, your weather scares the shit out of me. Also, did you catch the thing that I sent you earlier and paired with the lyrics? Because I mean, yeah. People are donating and we're gonna get it figured out. Like I said, though, too, if for some reason I should get commissions before I close them on Thursday, I will probably throw more money at your fundraiser. And I know you're sitting there going, you don't have to do that, but yes, I do. So, like, deal with it. I'll say, because I am zoomed in on that thing right now, and that came to me at work, and I was like, I don't know how I just made that picture worse in my brain, but, I did, because for some reason my brain went, make this even more heartbreaking, and I went, okay, bet, because I was thinking of that song, and I was thinking of the people pleaser anthem, and that lyric came in my brain with, I'm sick of wearing all these yeses on my neck. So that's why we snuck those in, especially because he can't tell her no. So sliding things in. You know I love the tiny details and sliding things in like that. That people pleaser anthem hits him a little too hard. I also love how I was working on him and now I've ended up on her. Yeah, we hate her. We really hate her. We're gonna work on him for a little bit. Saying, I don't know if you heard me rambling about it earlier in the start of this when I was talking about how I've done quite a bit of this with my mouse. Because I didn't want to move my tablet back because I was typing to you and we were like plotting things. There it is. All of the shading on the blindfold I did with my mouse. I mean, she's easy to hate. You know, if she wasn't such a fucking awful person, she's easy to hate because she's so freaking horrible. And this whole, like, her being really possessive, creepy thing. I mean, you know, you gotta have priorities. So then what? Purring on orange is not a hobby? I'll say, because he does that an awful lot. I was gonna say, as soon as I said that, my brain went, no, it can't be a hobby, it's a life skill. So now so I was gonna tell you earlier, but I didn't want to film my screen because I'm lazy. I was gonna show you what I did earlier and show you the thing that I'm sure you will find some kind of entertainment out of. Art tips with Kira once again. This is all in the knowing how to use your brushes thing. So this brush that I have is a water spot brush. It's meant to do like coffee stains. That's the one that I have it on right now. It's meant to use it for like coffee stains, but if you put it in the right colors and you use it really lightly, that's how I do bruises. Except normally I do it, I make it really big, because if you do it like that, it's supposed to be water spots, but I use it to do bruises, because it's barely opaque, even at 100% opacity, so it does really good bruises, but the bruises also look a certain way because that's how you can kind of make them look really really hard, is if you make them really purple, because it's not really a black eye, it's a purple eye. I can't tell you how much time I have spent staring at my own bruises just so I knew how to paint them. You don't want that bruise there, but I just wanted to show you how that water brush works. That I'm using a frickin' coffee stain brush to do bruises. Dude, I know I don't have that feeling now because I don't work in customer service anymore, but I definitely understand the feeling of like, I wish I could turn this down so people would stop fucking talking to me. What's the question they're asking? I'm surprised you have people coming in. I mean, no, I'm not. Never mind. I've had crazy disasters out by me too, and people still show up. I've had blizzards and people are still like, gotta see a movie. And I'm like, why are you here? Oh. Oh. Almost forgot I can turn my music back on because I just was like reading and I got really into talking. I'm telling you, man, I still believe that's guardian angel level bullshit. That's what happened. Some crazy guardian angel stuff. I'm firm in this belief. I mean, I kind of didn't expect you guys to have anything up soon. You got smacked by a tornado, dude. I'm just happy you're alive. I was real scared there for a minute that I was gonna, like, have to, you know, I don't know. I was just really scared. I'm sure you were obviously more scared, but, like, I was very scared for you. This is why I can send you soup. I don't really think that's a big deal. Like, that's what I can do for help right now? Dude, I'd have been crying too! Your weather freaks me out! Your weather scares me to death. I will take my ice storms, okay, thanks. You know what? I don't really blame her. It's pretty iconic, actually. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I saw that text message from you in the morning and I was so scared. I mean, I don't know. Thank fuck for your gut feeling, all I have to say. I was, I don't know, my brain just kept telling me I was going to wake up to a text message I didn't want to see. And then I saw you're all clear, and I was just kind of like, okay, now we wait. Dude, no, that was a hugging situation. That is an absolutely hugging situation. Dude, I would hug Amber, okay? You know how I feel about my sister and the level of our relationship, but I still would be hugging my sister. I told you, it's like what I explained. I explained it to Mom, that I was like, that there's a tornado and Best Boy doesn't give two fucks. His human gets a new work schedule. He's crying and has anxiety. Worst dog life ever. I was telling her about the emoji string that you starred that I sent you. Oh, that started with, hey, so I bought you flowers. And Mom went, okay. Because I walked in to the house with a few random groceries of things that I'd forgot to buy the day before. And I had small bouquets of flowers in my hand. Mom was just kind of chilling. And I went, hey. And she went, what? And I'm like, today was a day. And she goes, okay. And I went, oh, these are for you. And she just gets up. And I was like, you think I bought flowers for myself? I don't buy flowers for anyone else, Mom. These are for you. So she gets up and she gets them because I bought her like 2 different shades of purple of like 2 different kinds of flowers that I thought would be pretty together. And I go, these are for you. And she goes, okay. And I'm like, but these are for a reason. So hold on, buckle up. This is a story. And she goes, okay. And I was like, so, Theo almost died. And she was like, how does this have anything to do with the flowers? And I went, listen, I'm getting there. And that's how this started. Hold on, this is why you got flowers. Because I talked to the good Lord and bugged my dad all week, talking in my car, telling him he needed to do his guardian angel stuff up there, and to take care of my Theo and my Lacey, and I told him I don't care what he's got to do to get it done, but get it done. And he did, obviously. I can't tell you how many times I asked Dad this frickin' week to go, I need you to take care of my Theo. I'm serious, I need you to take care of my Theo. When I'd walk to my car, when I'd be driving home, when I'd be driving to work, I can't say when I'd get out and walk to work because I park in the different parking lot and then move my car. Because Terry doesn't like it when I park in the dark, but Terry's not there anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter, but I also don't want to walk in the dark. And I think Chris would freak out too. So when I'd walk to my car after work, and I'd consistently be talking to the peeps up there to do their thing. Generally the conversation to Dad is Dad, I need you to do your guardian angel thing for me. You can get Grandma and Grandpa, get the whole gaggle, get everybody that's up there, and do your thing, and take care of my Theo. And they did the thing for me, so I bought Mom flowers. I feel like that's a fair trade-off. If that's what it takes, I'll buy Mom as many flowers as she wants. Flowers are an easy trade-off. I knew exactly what you meant, though. But I'm not gonna lie, seeing that being the first thing I woke up to in the morning made my heart kind of like stop a little bit. I mean, thank you for sending it. I appreciate you. But at the same time, I went, because the thing is your all clear message didn't come through till after I got to work. Because I woke up when you sent that. That was when my alarm goes off. So, I woke up, saw that, had my heart stop in my chest, drove to work, checked my phone again while I was making coffee, and then saw your all clear message and went, oh, thank God. Okay, I can breathe. Now I'm just gonna wait till he texts me again. So that was my day. That was my side of it. No, don't be sorry. I'm glad you sent it, because if something had happened, I'm glad you told me. But I had a tense drive to work, and I went, oh God. And then I got to work, and I pulled my phone out to, check my phone while I drank my coffee, while I waited for everything to brew, and I went, okay, we can breathe. And then I figured that you would attempt to get some kind of sleep. I saw your post that you posted on your blog, and I went, okay, cool, he's gonna try to sleep. I don't know how the fuck he's gonna do that, but I wish him well, because I want to be able to fucking sleep. And, then I just kind of waited for you to text me again. And when you finally texted me again at like almost 11 in the morning, I went, okay, I can breathe again. I didn't think you would. I didn't know how you were gonna sleep at all, dude. I saw that and I went, okay, I hope that goes well, but I don't think it's gonna. It wouldn't have gone well for me. I don't know if I would have been able to sleep. Dude, I'd have been wired. I like that. Oh, I gotta send you that song. I forgot. Sorry. I'm listening to things and then I forgot I favorited songs today to send to you because my brain said, "Oh my god, these are blue." Oh, don't you dare, Spotify. I liked those today. I know I did. Spotty, what are you doing? Where's my phone? Damn it. Oh no, I think I plugged it in. Oh, it's gonna be a little brat. I might have to drag him off my phone. Because I definitely had some songs come up while I was at work today that I was like, this is breakup, Silu. Yeah, I was gonna send those to you and then I forgot. Now Spotify's being a little jerk. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if they saved on my phone on Spotify, because they sure as hell didn't save on this one. I saved those today so I could send them to you. One, they were also just really good songs. Aha! Good, they saved here. They're not in my listening. They're okay. This is Spotify does this weird thing where the listening history on my phone won't sync to my computer, so they don't exist on my computer's listening history, but they exist in my phone's listening history. It's annoying. There it is. This song. This came on today and I went, This is Breakup Blue. You can't tell me this song is not Breakup Blue. This slammed me like a truck. I'll send it.
Making it so hard. Try to get over. We painted the town.
I'll send it to you on Discord.
So why do I feel so blue? You left me with no scars. Can't heal like I meant to. Ended on good terms, wish that it would hurt. No, I wanna find your brother underneath the backseat of my best friend's car. I wanna find your number written in the bathroom at the back of the bar. I wanna hear you say you never really loved me. There was someone else. Gotta find one reason just to hate you, and I need your help. Raise me, cool is the least you could do. You made me love you. Now give me a reason not to please me. Cool, I'm begging you. You made me love you. Now give me a reason not to. I keep calling back 'cause you keep calling back. I just keep falling 'cause you won't let me hit the ground. I keep calling back 'cause you keep calling back. I just keep falling 'cause you won't let me hit the ground. Raise me, close the least you could do. You made me love you. Now give me a reason not to please me. Cool, I'm begging you. You made me love you. Now give me a reason not to.
You can't tell me that's not Breakup Blue.
Keep calling back 'cause you keep calling back. I just keep falling 'cause you won't let me hit the ground. I keep calling back 'cause you keep calling back. I just keep falling 'cause you won't let me hit the ground.
Dude, exactly. So should tell me what Blue is saying on Disco. It's been 2 hours anyways, so I probably will stop here. We did a decent amount, despite the fact that I spent like 2 hours talking about lore. No, yeah, we're doing pretty good. Orange isn't having a good time. But he never is when this woman's involved. So I appreciate everyone coming to chit chat and talk to me and hang out and talk about lore, and we'll do it. What? I'm waiting. Check your internet points. I will wait while you check your internet points. Last I knew, they were pretty high up there. Yeah, I'll say it's been a whole 2 hours. You get 3 points for every 5 minutes. So you should have got quite a few tonight. But yes, I appreciate everyone coming to chit chat and hang out and talk about lore and learn about the Orange Man and why we hate Suxu. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I really do. Thanks for coming and hanging out.